I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, put your sweats on me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for ya. Let me lay a great time on ya. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying, bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high. Hands up high. Tell them turn the lights down right now. Put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark perfume. Go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you when you're in the mood for empathy. There's blood in my pen. Better yet, with your friends and them. I really wanna know you off. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. Nigga, don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga, that ain't good game, homie, sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S.
Something with all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year? When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. I'm your host, the SC Experience, aka boy Eric, and to my got it wrong again, back-to-back weeks, my boy Raider Twuan in the video. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good, man? 2-for-1 Nation podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We still getting it in, even on a bye week. We is in here. Shout out to everybody. Blessings to everybody. And shout out to the congregation.
salute. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Hopefully, everybody's having a great week so far and had a great weekend, regardless of what the outcome was. Shout out to everybody, man. Let's see who's in here so far. Let me give a shout out to everybody. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We're simulcasting on two different channels. They're both in the description, I believe. Both the Instagrams and the YouTube pages as well. We'll appreciate if you hit that like button, regardless of where you're at. Shout out to who's here, man. Cool Kev in the building. What's good, Cool Kev? Good to see you. SoCal Sal in the building. Salute. Terrence, what's good? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Wild Turkey, salute. Sports and Wrestling Connection in the building. What's good? Salute. Shout out to everybody that's in here. And Terrence already dropping links. I appreciate that, man. You already know what it is. Shout out to Prez in the building. Putting the kangaroos in the chat. Shout out to Raider Resistance in the building. What's good? Good to see you. But like as you see in the chat as well, man. I think it's on my channel. Um, hey, people that worked on behind the scenes, man, go follow, give them a follow. Either great work over there too, man. They're all over there. Those are all the links. And if you want to listen to something in your ear without looking at your phone, hey, my boy Terrence got you with the Salute Nation podcast on Spotify, man. I believe in different areas as well. But shout out to everybody that's in here so far, man. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. Tough loss last week, man. There's a lot to talk about regarding that. But before we get to that, let's go to a very hot topic. Not very hot topic. I believe one of our guys is getting a chance finally because of this. Raider news: the Raiders waived both cornerbacks Marcus Peters on Monday and Roderick Teamer, meaning they're both gone pretty much. One because of a DUI, the other one, he just played with no lack of effort and disappointing the number 24. Twuan, let me know about this move, bro. How you feeling?
Well, it's not just one guy. I think two guys are definitely getting an opportunity, and both of those guys. Well, one of those guys I definitely like, and the other guy you like, and then the other guy you definitely like. So and I'll say that is Jack Jones is the cornerback that's going to get step into that role, and I think what's really going to happen there. I think really the writing on the wall was when we brought in Jack Jones. I think it was just one of those things where if Jack Jones kind of could get this defense, then it's like, do we really need, Marcus Peters out there on the field, especially with him in his, I was still trying to scratch my head on his play because he was really good in coverage, but his willingness to tackle was not there at all. And we saw that all throughout tape. That there's actually been people now since he's been released that have been dropping highlights of his missed tackles. That's how many it's been since he's been on the team. And in regards to Roderick Teamer, the safety, that gives the opportunity for a guy that I know that you like, and that's Palomau. So and we know that Palomau was definitely been on a incline. He's been improving and getting better there. But Roderick Teamer, the situation with him, I said it on my podcast. I said look, I'm glad even with Antonio Pierce not having the official title, Champ Kelly not having the official title, they're not taking any BS, and this type of behavior we're not going to tolerate moving forward. So I'm glad that they didn't hesitate to go ahead and get him on his way out of here. And just personally, in his play on the field, not his play off the field, but his play on the field, for me, I've kind of had a question mark on him anyway. So it's not really hurting me much that he's on it, whether he was on this team or not. But I will say now we're a little shorter in those, in that spot at safety. I honestly, I can only recall three in my mind, and that's Epps, that's Merrick, and Palomau. I don't know if there's any other safeties behind that. So we'll see what Champ Kelly brings in. You know what I'm saying? Do we even bring in another safety? Do we get another defensive lineman? You know what I'm saying? We have two open spots right now to fill. and we'll see what Champ Kelly does moving forward. But yeah, that's definitely my take on those two guys. I'm sad that Peters didn't become the guy that I envisioned him to be. You know what I'm saying? But hey, time was up.
Yeah, for me, obviously, let me get to the chat real quick before I say my stuff. Lake Show Raider in the building was good. Big Worm in the building. Salute, salute. Shout out to Anthony Estrada in the building. Was good. Good to see you. Graham Cam in the building. Was good. Graham Cam. Was good. Was good. Was good. Good to see everybody, man. El Capitan Rafael in the building. Was good. Cap. Shout out to everybody that's joining us, man. And of course, with this move, like you said, there's multiple people that could step up now. Now, two in my mind has always been Jack Jones and Isaiah Palomar. Isaiah Palomar since last year has been somebody that, actually three guys. I'll consider three guys, and I see somebody said in the chat as well. Let me start off with the two obvious ones, right? First, Isaiah Palomar on the safety side of things. For him specifically, he's one of those guys that when watching USC all the time, of course, I was trying to really, how do I say it? I was really trying to dissect his film, right? I was trying to be in. I was trying to see where his best positions were because there were certain cases where he would play in the backfield and it would not look too good. In a two free high safety, so it's kind of like where is his best position? Then when USC started using him in the box and he started getting utilized in the box a little bit more, it started kind of emerging a little bit better. I mean, the guy's 6'4", a linebacker built at safety, running a 4.3. Like, come on, like that's somebody you want in the middle. Roman QB spine. And I think that's his best position. I think that's the best place you could put him. Obviously, now with Roderick Teamer gone, you could see somebody like Chris Smith the second going up there. From Georgia. I liked him a lot coming out of college. He was my top five safety. Um, Coming out of college. I liked everything. His instincts, his football IQ was up there. Sometimes, yeah, he takes the wrong angles, but besides that, those things he could easily clean up. And Chris Smith, you could start seeing him go up the depth chart. And then as far as the cornerback position for Marcus Peters, obviously Jack Jones, somebody that since he was a rookie and since he was originally a prospect, I always looked at him. He was one of my sleepers, and I always wanted him because he was one of those guys that when you look at people like Amik, you look at his shortness, and you're like, damn, he's not going to look good out there. But these guys out here put up their extra effort. They play like they're 6'3", and that's exactly what Jack Jones is. Jack Jones is one of those guys that has the ball hawking skills. All he needs is, some may say is the height, but even then, is if we could give Amik a chance. Jack Jones is another one that could do it as well. Shout out to All Eyes on G. What's good? Good to see you, Saints World. What's good? Long time no see. Shout out to Auntie Six, man. A member for 18 months. It's been 18 months. God damn. Oh my God. 18 months. That's insane, man. Shout out to you, Auntie Six. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Let me see if I skipped anybody. I hope I didn't skip anybody. I don't think so.
And I'm glad you said. I'm glad you refreshed my mind because I completely forgot about our rookie, Chris Smith at safety. We'll see how he gets used, how often he gets used, et cetera, et cetera. But definitely he, with with Teamer being gone, definitely he has moved up the depth chart.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Chile in the building. It was good, Toby. So with these news, right? I'm not really hurt. You know, I know that I was one of the people that in the off season I was like Marcus Peters getting them was a good move because when you really look at and I'll admit when I gotta eat the bad stuff at the end of the day, um, unlike other people, right? When it comes to Marcus Peters and how I advocated for him is when you look at his resume before he joined the Raiders was a guy that was still playing at a high level. Like the resume don't lie. He didn't lack effort at the Ravens. He didn't lack effort um even before that when he was on the
Chiefs.
I believe he was on the Chiefs and then the Rams, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So he always had that dog in him. He would be the type to hit you in the mouth and talk shit over you. He was a top end safety. And yeah, obviously he started declining, but it wasn't a decline to the point where you would expect him to play the way he did this year. This year, it was just a lack of effort. Like he didn't want to be out there in the football field. And there hasn't been one sign of that in his past few years. even through his injury. So that's why I was always like, Marcus Peters was a good sign. It's a veteran, a guy that brings experience. He wants to be a Raider. I didn't agree with the number he chose. But besides that, I was like, it's a veteran that brings experience. The guy is still playing at a decent level. It's not like he had a bad resume or lack of effort at resume. And then he does this. And it's kind of shows that it's kind of like to the point where he just cares about the money. He just doesn't care no more. And you could just tell by the way he went out there on the every single day. This was not the same Marcus Peters from last year. And it kind of surprised me. I was like, "What the hell? This ain't the Marcus Peters I know. This ain't the Marcus Peters from last year." So obviously, that's the one I have to take to the chin. Where you could say I was wrong, but when you really look at it and you really look at his resume, he's never showed a sign of anything he did this year. So it's kind of crazy that he did that. It kind of shows that sometimes people get to that age where it's all about the paycheck. And it sucks. It sucks that people lose that mentality of going out there and support and representing that team. And for us, representing that shield, it means a lot to us. And it's crazy, man. Shout out to everybody that's joining us, though, man. I see D Menace in the building. What's good, D Menace? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Chile, I'm not sure if I salute you, but salute. Shout out to Lake. He says, I'm not trying to be negative, but I still think we need to lose out the rest of the way. And draft Bo Nix and D tackle to help out Max. For the love of God, can we please help Max, Raider Nation for life? For me, I just never been an advocate of losing out. I've never been an advocate of tanking, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are saying that Bo Nix and Michael Penix are going to be in top five. And, if you have anything past that, you're not going to get those good quarterbacks. For me, I think there's more than two good quarterbacks, man. I think that this is a deep quarterback class. Even without Caleb or with Caleb, it's a deep quarterback class. Everywhere from Jaden Daniels to Drake May to Michael Penix and Bo Nix. This quarterback room is stacked, and you could get a quarterback even in the double digit first round. Um, the question is you don't even know if they might go for a free agent quarterback. You don't know. So, what's your take on that? How do you feel about you know the top 10 pick and stuff like that?
The whole losing out situation. I think, and I'm not, and here I am. I usually am positive, but here I am saying something that might possibly be negative. We could still play games and still lose out, and still get, get to what we want. And I think we have the opportunity of where we are. We still have that opportunity to get a quarterback if that's who we want. You know what I'm saying? And also in reality, let's be real. We're not just a quarterback away. So if there's still an opportunity that we may not even get a quarterback in the first round. It may be an offensive lineman. It might be a right tackle that we definitely need. It might be a defensive tackle that we've been screaming about for it to help out Max Crosby. We just got Peters out of here. Why? Because we failed to draft well at corner. So we could be drafting a top corner in the first round. So there's a lot of ways that we can go about, attacking and building this team out. It doesn't have to be a number one quarterback to help out our team. Now, with that being said, yes, we still do need to bring in a quarterback, because I personally believe that Jimmy G and Hoyer need to be on the first Spirit plane, out of here when that time comes. So that means we still need to bring some more quarterbacks in here, but it doesn't have to be in the first round. But with that being said, and I agree with Eric, there's a lot of depth there on the top end in the quarterback realm. Just on top of my head, without even digging too far, I can identify 5 or 6 quarterbacks that could be our guy.
Yeah, and me, I believe, and I said this last week, and I said this on Tuesday when I did the show on my own. I was like, hey, I still believe that we could win out, man. I still believe that, and some people may call me a homer, But at the end of the day, when you really look at it, they're teams that are beatable. They're all beatable teams. At the end of the day, until we're statistically out, then I'm out. And right now we're in the hunt is something difficult. I'm not calling for Super Bowl either, but I am saying that just don't give up on the season. I get the Bo Nix talks. I get the Drake May talks. I know the Michael Penix talks, the Jaden Daniels talks. But for me, it's more about for me it's more about looking in the present than looking in the future, right? Obviously we're going to talk about the future in a little bit, as you can see on the title and stuff like that. But for me, it's like the shield has never been, hey, let's lose out, just lose, baby. It's just win, baby. Take what all cost. Doesn't matter what the draft pick is or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, go out there and go give it your all and go win. All I care about is that this team goes out there and shows effort and wants to win. I don't want to see a lack of effort like it was with Josh McDaniels, where everything was just shit and people didn't even look like they wanted to be out there. Now, the Marcus Peters releasing kind of shows me that they want to win now. They could have easily kept Marcus Peters and be like, hey, it's okay. We're aiming for a top 10 pick next year. So, anyways, we don't care if we have players like Marcus Peters that are not playing out there for the Shield. That shows you that they want to win. That releasing shows you that they want to win, that they're willing to get rid of people that don't want to come out here and put it all on the line. And he even said it with Roderick Teamer. He said, hey, we're going to do anything that hurts our reputation, hurts the organization, makes the Shield look bad, or any the case may be. He said it straight up for the Teamer thing. And I was like, yeah, with the Marcus Peters releasing and him saying that on Roger Teamer, it kind of shows that he wants to win. Like he 110% wants to win and not looking into the future. And I like that because it's like at the end of the day, um, for me, I don't believe in tanking. I don't believe getting a top 10 pick. But like Twan said, there's always a possibility of different things. We could win the next four, we could win the next three, we could win the next two, we could win the next one, we could win nothing, we could win all of them. It's all a possibility. But for me, I believe we could win all out, but they have to use this bye week and they need to utilize this bye week. Shout out to T in the building. What's good, T? Good to see you. Shout out to everybody's in here, man. Hopefully, Justin Fields. No, I would not want him. He's injury prone and uh, he runs more than pass. To be honest. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. He said there's so much that could happen from now till the offseason. We might need to replace JJ. We might need a head coach and a quarterback. Way too early. Yeah, and that's a fact. It's way too early to
That
kind of
that's
think
why I'm
about.
that's why I'm kind of, and I know that's the hot talk, for people that are not really too, I hate to say it like that, or that are too, in depth on the schedule situations. It's way too early to be talking about, what quarterback you want, because we don't even have a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And the head coach is going to have a huge say on who we bring in at quarterback. Our last head coach didn't want a mobile quarterback. That's why we didn't get, a Richardson that everybody was talking about they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So you have to wait. You have to identify who the head coach is before, and then you got to get into the head coach's head and figure out what he likes, because he may like a mobile quarterback. He might want the Richardson type of quarterback, or he might want the statue type of quarterback that we kind of already have on our roster. So, we it's kind of early. Like, you can talk about who you like as a player, but you can't say, oh, he's going to be a Raider. Like, you can't call that, because again, we don't officially have our head coach.
Yeah, I feel that. And shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Shout out to ECG, man. Congratulations. I haven't seen it, but you were on ESPN today. I gotta go check it out. Go see what that's about. Shout out to you, man. Congrats on that. Shout out to Coach Dante in the building. What's good, Coach? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. So obviously, moving a little bit forward, a tough, 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 tough loss, a horrible loss at that, against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs has gotten our number, man. Just like we're with the Broncos, we gotta admit that the Chiefs are with us. Is the same thing, and it sucks because it's like the Chiefs are like that annoying team that you could beat, but then it doesn't happen. Like, I believe we could beat this team. That scoreline didn't show everything, and it sucks that we continue to lose to this team when we know we're capable of beating them. And obviously it wasn't a result we wanted. Twan, talk to me a little bit about this. This game.
You know, I sound like a broken record because I've been saying this, in regards to the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a beatable team, and we had the opportunity to beat them again. But like I said, in regards to what our thoughts are, our game plan, or what needs to happen to beat the Chiefs, they didn't do it. And I said, we can't beat ourselves. And that's exactly what we did. We beat ourselves. We literally beat ourselves. And, it boils down to something that I've been saying on my channel, and it's still holding true. Rookies being rookies.
Mhm.
I'm going to say it again. Rookies being rookies. And I'm talking about Aiden O'Connell, I'm talking about Bo Hardegree, and I'm talking about Antonio Pierce. Either it's one of those three, whether it's two of those three, or all three of those three. And to be honest with you, this game against the Chiefs, it was two out of the three. Because I thought out of those three rookies, I think Aiden O'Connell played a really good game. I think he played probably one of his best games of the year against Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Against going toe to toe against people want to crown him as the best quarterback in the league. So, and that's what you're going to get. Sometimes you're going to get, a really good, out of a rookie, you're going to get a really good performance, or you're not going to get a not so, it's going to be hot and cold. And that's, this past Sunday, Aiden was on. Aiden was he did his, pretty much did his job. Now, in regards to play calling, which goes on the offensive coordinator, there was a lot of things that I didn't like. I didn't like the back-to-back runs. There was times where we ran the ball, got 2 yards, and then we ran it again. And it's like, look, you only got 2 yards on the first run. What makes you think the second time, second time's a charm? Like, and then with that being said, you have you get 2 yards the first time. Then, okay, let's just say you get another 2 yards, right? So now you're putting Aiden O'Connell in a tough situation, because now he has to throw the ball and convert on third down. And again, this is a rookie. You're putting all this on a rookie's shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things play call wise that I felt could have been better, things that could have been improved. And of course, Antonio Pierce, there's certain things that, I said, I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt and let him go a little bit, because he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. Like last week, he was damned because he didn't get the points. You know what I'm saying? He didn't kick the field goal. And then this week, he calls to go for the field goal. You know what I'm saying? And Carlson misses it. So it's like he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. And he's gonna have and that's just the growing pains of having rookies out there. Okay. So we're gonna have to ride that out. And also I'll say this too, with that being said, that's our best option from this point to the end of the season. The guys that we have at quarterback, at offensive coordinator, and at head coach, those are our best options to possibly win games. And we've been in these games. So there's positives there, but we just got to roll with the punches at this point.
Facts. Shout out to ECG, man. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, you guys are doing good things over there, man. You already know, man. You got my 110% support over there. And shout out to Chile. He says, SE, you think AP will take assistant head coach if offered? I think so. He has a love for the Raiders, man. He has a lot of love for the Raiders, man. He grew up a Raiders fan. He talks about it, how he always wants to represent the Shield. So I feel like if he got an opportunity to represent the Shield in any way, he's going to do it. And I don't think he'll leave. I think him for sure will stay, regardless of what position he's at, right? And I'm not really looking at candidates. The only two that could, off the top of my mind, that I've been researching lately has been Ben Johnson, I think the Ravens coordinator, offensive coordinator, oh no, I think yeah, Ben Johnson and Frank Smith. One of them was the defensive coordinator for the Lions. The other one's the Raven. I think Frank Smith is the Lion. I mean the Ravens, and I think Johnson is the Lions, if I'm not mistaken. But
Think
those two
so,
names
yeah.
are somebody that I've been looking at, both of them, to be a little bit of an offensive coordinator position for us. Um, or they might be from Miami. Oh my god, I think I'm getting my stuff right. This is why I still need to research it. But those are two names that obviously I've had on my mind. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. I think it's a mental thing when it comes to us losing to the Chiefs at this point. It is. It's like you could go out there and beat them, and then you just don't do it, right? Shout out to Avakazi Raider. What's good, AR? Good to see you. Hope all as well. He said, I'm still happy Peters is gone. That's a fact. Yep, there's only our best and only options for the remainder of the season. That's a fact. Aiden O'Connell's the best, I guess the best person we could win with, the the best quarterback we could win with at the end of the day. Jimmy G ain't it. At the end of the day, Aiden O'Connell's not playing bad. He's doing better than Bryce Young. And people could say Bryce Young has less weapons. At the end of the day, CJ Stroud is doing it with less weapons. So, who would have known who Tank Dell, would have came out and been guns blazing? Who would have known a Dalton Schultz that hardly had any time before is starting to emerge, right? And then he got injured. But like I'm saying, you know, who would have known that Damian Pierce, their number one running back, went back, and then he injured himself. Then the Singletary came out of nowhere, and then the passing game opening. It's things like that. It's like the quarterbacks always make the people around them better, and tries to make the most of what they got. And for Aiden O'Connell, he's making the most. He got given the baton without knowing that he was gonna get given the baton. This is his first this is his first real season, and he hardly had time to really go out there and have all this NFL experience. And he played against second, third stringers in the offseason. He looked good, but he's got a welcome to the NFL, and he's gotten it. I think the Chiefs was a welcome to the NFL. Hey, these are top end teams. Deal with it now. See how you could beat them. And it's the same thing with the play calling. The guy, like I said, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're just giving an excuse. What was this with Josh McDaniels?" Well, at the end of the day, you got to look at the reality of it. And they're all rookies. This play caller has never play called in his entire life, and he's using a playbook that's not even his. And on top of that, you have a head coach that he's a rookie at the end of the day. Yeah, high school, he was a coach, whatever the case may be. But coaching a high schooler kid compared to a goddamn professional football player is two different things. And that's what people aren't looking at it. They like to look at, oh, you should have kept the same energy with their old coach. You should have done this. You should have done that. Look at the reality of things, people. Stop with this bullshit ass. Oh, everybody was calling for the Super Bowl. Everyone was this. Nobody was calling for the Super Bowl. We were calling for is that this was Raiders football, which is showing effort out there and actually looking like you want to play out there. And regardless of what happened against the Chiefs and what happens against Miami, I seen teams that showed more effort than Josh McDaniels could ever show. And that's a damn fact. And with me, I'm a person that likes to be positive about things. And yes, you could look at the Chiefs game negatively. Our offense wasn't rolling again. Was very, very conservative in the second half, and that's the reality of it. But they're learning. That's the reality of it too. These guys are learning, and to me, I'm giving them a pass because they're, like I said, and I'm gonna repeat it again and again to get it through people's thick ass skulls. They're learning. Like, get it through your heads. They even say it. They come out every day taking accountability, saying, "Hey, it's my fault as a coach. I didn't execute at a high level." Josh McDaniels came out here and said, 30 fucking times, blaming Aiden O'Connell for everything that's happened with his goddamn life. So he never blamed Jimmy G once. So to me, it's like, for me, a real coach goes out there, takes accountability, and says, "Hey, it's my fault. I'm learning. I don't have it all through. This is what it is." At least he's not lying to us like the last regime was. Our last regime was like, we're gonna teach these guys at a high level. These guys are playing at a high level. This is some bullshit. But yeah, sorry I had to go on a little rant. You feel me? Just pissing me off when I hear bullshit like that.
No, I agree with you because I hear it, I'm saying, I see it, I'm saying, in regards to, the reactions of some of the people that are watching us right now. But it's like it goes even to just putting that into perspective. People want to compare McDaniels to Antonio Pierce. McDaniels was a coach before. He was a head coach before. You know what I'm saying? He was the offensive guru that was supposed to fix this offense. There was somebody, I forgot who it was, on my life. Milka Beasley said, and not bashing Milka Beasley, but this is just the some of the optimism, the optics, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said, he said, we got Antonio Pierce and we're still scoring less than 20 points. And he was talking about the Chiefs game. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. But let's put it in perspective. You had the offensive guru that his quarterback was a veteran that knew this offense versus a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback and a rookie offensive coordinator. Does that look the same? No. And we got to definitely put that in perspective. We have to look at it in that way. Yeah, of course we always want to win. We always want to, get it in like that, but we got to put it in perspective. They're learning, and the hope is that they've learned their lesson and they're adding to their book of, okay, I learned from this. I learned from the Dolphins game. I learned from the Chiefs game. I learned from the Bills game. I learned from the, you know what I'm saying? So the next game, they're like, okay, based on my knowledge, based on what I've learned, now I can be better. So if we're seeing them get better and better, again, on that incline, like I've been saying, that's the best thing that we can ask for at this point. Whether they are, and I'll say this just early, whether he's our official head coach or not. This is a learning for Antonio Pierce and everybody else who, Bo Hardigree and all them. Like this is a ramp up possibly for what could be next year.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm for that. I'm with it. If they can get, if this is their learning lesson, so that for next year, Pierce is like, hey, I know what I need to do. Bo is like, hey, I now I can really implement my own put my little twist on this playbook, and now I know what I need to do in regards to play calling. I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's options there, but let's just hope that game by game they learn and they get better. Players on the field and coaching.
And look it. Let me put this in perspective to everybody, right? People may say, "Oh, this show is too positive. Why are they taking the positive out of everything?" Look at the reality of it. And well, let me tell you something, buddies out there. 14 years of offensive coordinator experience, and you couldn't even score nothing with the players you wanted. Everybody talks about, even with our old quarterback, oh, we don't got the players. We don't got the players. We don't got the players. Okay, he got another full off season, and he got all his players. Jacoby Myers, his player. We had over 10 Patriot players, ex-Patriot players, come on this team, and half of them start. Okay, let's just put that into perspective real quick. These are their players, and they couldn't get it done. Now you go into Antonio Pierce, and everybody's like, oh, he's not doing a good job. He's doing the same thing. Well, let's start looking into depth with Antonio Pierce. Something Antonio Pierce has that Josh McDaniels doesn't is the motivational aspect of it. And some people may say, hey, these guys get paid millions of dollars. That should be enough motivation. Haven't we learned in the world that money sometimes is not the motivation for anybody? We've seen people take their own lives off of and they could be they were the richest person. They were earning money back to back. They were having so much publicity. They were having so much popularity, and out of nowhere, they just weren't happy with their lives. And that's just the reality of this generation, what it is now. People got to remember that these guys are 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds. A lot of people that are in the older ages kind of look at them and be like, they get paid so much money. They get this, they get that. They need to be motivated. I can't even get that. At the end of the day, these guys need to be motivated when they're out there. And all it takes is one person to go out there and be like, hey, represent this. You got this. Hey, you're a better player than what you've been showing. boom. And that's what Antonio Pierce has been doing this whole time. To me, yes, the offense wasn't clicking in the second half, and it looked very similar to how it was the first few weeks. But to me, I at least known that they were showing effort, and I'm not saying I'm okay with losing. Hell no, I'm not okay with losing. All my life we've been losing, and I've been still sticking here by this team time and time again. Multiple quarterbacks, multiple coaches, multiple coordinators, multiple coordinators across the board, linebackers coach, corner. We kept going through the ringer every single year. Derek Carr broke his goddamn leg when we were about to hopefully make the Super Bowl that year. Um, these are heartbreaks, and don't you think I'm tired of it? But the reality of and I said this last season, and I'm right again once again when it comes to this saying, we give the right contracts to the wrong resumes. And what I mean by that is that these coaches that we keep bringing in have not had good resumes in that significant thing. And we keep giving these guys contracts, and it keeps being the same outcome. They fuck up our team, we shit the bed, and then we keep talking about this 2 to 3, 4 year I'll rebuild. It's gonna be rebuilt, and then by the third year, they end up taking that coach away, and then it's the same thing over again. When are we gonna learn our lesson that we need to start giving people that have a good resume, that have shown that they could do it at a high level, that have shown that. And right now, I know some people say Antonio Pierce is not the answer. Wait till the end of the season. He could win out for all we know. We have to see how good he plays in the circumstances he's in. And if he could outshine that, I think we'll be fine. That's why I was always an advocate for Rich Bisaccia. Yes, Rich Bisaccia is not a true head coach as far as football mentality, right? But he motivated these guys, and all he needed was two coordinators on his left and his right to be very proven. I would have told you right now, if Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator, Rich Bisaccia was right there, I think it would have been a better outcome than those first few weeks. I'll tell you that much. Just because he motivated them. Josh McDaniels didn't motivate shit. He told everybody, hey, wake up at 6 a.m., go out there and practice, do what I want. Don't do what you want. Rich Bisaccia would have been like, hey, play to your strengths, y'all. Play to your strengths, make the most out of it.
I don't even, and people want to put that marker as he has to win out. To be honest with you, I don't even think he has to win out to get the job.
I don't think so either.
And some people are going to disagree with me on that, and that's okay. I really feel like he doesn't even have to win out to get the job. I'll leave this here, and I'll leave the question to the chat. Mm-hmm. Since Antonio Pierce has been head coach, or I'm gonna say head coach, but we know it's interim. Mm-hmm. But ever since Antonio Pierce has been head coach, what game did this team give up on? I'll wait. Please tell me a game since Antonio Pierce has been head coach that this team has given up. That gotta mean something. It has to mean something, you guys. How many times did we see under McDaniels after the first half? Even if it got that far, that this team gave up. And we were just we was just sitting there just to sit there because we love the Raiders. Because some of us, I know some people turned the TV off, but some of us refused to turn the TV off. So we was just sitting there taking it.
I think I see people say last game, right, for the Chiefs. I think it's not that they gave up. I think it's the fact that they couldn't get anything going, and they got frustrated with it. And you've seen it, right? You've seen it in their faces. You've seen it with Marcus Peters and him getting an altercation. You've seen it with that, and it's like even Amik said it after the game. He said they know they're better talent wise, and they should have went out there and won. And I think Max Crosby, him too. He was just playing hurt, man, the whole day. There was a lot of implications with this, but I'm not giving an excuse on that. I think it's just you get frustrated at a certain time when you can't beat a certain team over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's annoying when you're capable of beating them, and I think my prediction will be right. what I said in the beginning of the season. I didn't give a record prediction, but I did say that um, we would go 1-1 with the Chiefs and 1-1 with the Chargers. So it looks like more of a reality. And for Antonio Pierce, he's a guy that doesn't need to call plays. He doesn't need to go out there and be the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator. He doesn't need to do none of that. At the end of the day, his job is just to overlook everybody, and make sure that everybody's out there playing at a high level and playing for the shield. That's what his job is, and he's doing his job. It's just when you got a rookie offensive coordinator as well, playing somebody else's playbook, trying to make it spin, trying to make the most out of it in the midseason, it's gonna affect you. But I think this bye week will help them a lot in creating new plays, creating new dynamics of the playbook, and being able to talk, hey, let's go out there and change it up. We need a score, and we need to score consistently. And I think this bye week will do them good. I think so.
I think with the Chiefs game, and some people might disagree with me, but that's okay too. I think that with the Chiefs game, we were limping going into the game. Our best defensive player was on a bum knee. What was we really gonna get out of that? Knowing that he is the one that really ignites our pass rush, that helps the back end of our defense. Let's also talk about what was going on. Let's talk about what was going on in the secondary. Didn't Marcus Peters blow up on the sideline? And wasn't there issues with Marcus Peters barking and acting a fool on the sideline? So I wouldn't necessarily say that the team was giving up. There was just a whole, it was just we were coming in the game a mess. And there came a point where, of course the coaches had a pull. They pulled Max, and they pulled, what I'm saying? They kind of try to save some people at the end of the game. So I think that's what some of us saw as give up. But I think that was more of the Peters being Peters at this point, and again, the straw that stirs our drink on the defensive side of the line or defensive side of the ball was on a bum knee.
Defense was playing good before that, which was including Max with the bad knee. Yeah, I mean they were playing decent. They were playing decent, and then they were just exposing them underneath routes, and the lack of tackling, really affected. I mean, what's his name? Rice, I believe, was the one that was beating the fuck out of Marcus Peters. I believe so. Like every time I seen somebody catch the ball, Marcus Peters was like 30 feet back and missing the tackle. Miami, perfect Tyreek the whole goddamn tackle. So a lot to do with it is, the lack of effort there, and we got rid of one of the problems, in Marcus Peters. He's gone gladly. His lack of effort showed, and now he's gone. So now it's time for some people that could step up. Jack Jones. I'm looking at Tyler Hall. I'm looking at hopefully Faison comes back from injury. And those significant things, right? And Max Crosby has a whole week to rest, so this is good for us. And on top of that, it's a good. I think, in the beginning of offseason, I was like, this bye week is too far into the season. It's too much. It's week 13. It's crazy. Now I'm looking at it like, thank you. This is actually a good bye week, because they need this. They need this at this time. Um, Obviously, it wasn't the result we wanted, and sometimes some people could say there was a lack of effort on some places, and it sucks. And we got rid of one of the people that lacked effort horrifically. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this bye week will do them good, and that kind of leads me to the next thing, right? Which is the future outlook of this team, man. We got 5 games left, including division rivals and the Chiefs again, the Chargers again, and the Broncos again. On top of that, the Vikings and the Colts as well are left on the team. Talk to me a little bit about this team and the bye week, Twan, and leading up to these next 5 games.
I agree with you, in the sense of, I'm glad that the bye week is now.
Mhm.
It gives Bo, specifically Bo for me. I know the team that obviously the bye allows teams to get healthy, gets their treatments in, and some rest and stuff like that. Of course, we know that the obvious, but for Bo Hardegree, I think this also helps him offensively. Really figure out what works, what's not working, what he can add, what can he adjust, all those things that maybe he didn't have time to really sit and think about. He has time to really think about. You know what I'm saying? Like this week, they're literally doing. Bo's sitting thinking. You know what I'm saying? Next week, the players come in, implement, and then they can start practicing some of those things that maybe, okay, we did this way, but now we're going to do it this way. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be some adjustments that I'll be looking for, coming out of the bye. And again, it's allowing the rookies to think and then, find solutions to whatever those problems are.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I was kind of worried too that the bye was a little too late for us, but the way that this season went, with us, getting rid of a coach and getting new coaches in and positions, like I'm kind of glad that you know we got this. And also timing too with Max, what I'm saying, his injury.
Mm.
Now we got to at least 2 weeks of well, not 2 weeks, but at least a good week of him recouping from what has already transpired.
Mm-hmm. And as you see right here on your screen, obviously the five right there, is after the bye week. Oh, let me take this banner out real quick. You see it right there. The next 5 games. One's Thursday night football. Another one's Christmas. And then the final one it might be a prime time because it might be a playoff spot. If you're asking me, you got Vikings that are over there in the NFC that are in the hunt. You got the Chargers that are in the hunt. You got the Chiefs that are number one in the AFC West. Number two, I think, in the AFC. Then you got the Colts in the hunt, and you got the Broncos in the hunt. You got four AFC teams that are all going on a playoff hunt. Um, and this, if you ask me, this looks like the similar stretch to how it was in when Rich Bisaccia was here. Remember, we
Mhm.
played the Colts the same time. It's kind of crazy how it comes full circle again. The interim coach, um, the bye week was recent, and then you got your AFC rival teams, and then you have an AFC team that's in the hunt. It's crazy that it always happens. It's very weird. And I'm not saying that we're 110% gonna win out, and I'm not saying we're gonna 110% lose out. I'm gonna take it week by week, and next week it starts with the Vikings. Right, they get Justin Jefferson back. Joshua Dobbs didn't look good last week, and we shit the bed last week with the Chiefs. And now we're coming off a bye week. The Vikings, I think they're playing a team this upcoming Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to the future of the Raiders and the future of the season. For me, it's a week by week basis. At the end of the day, I see people already giving up on the season, and you could tell with the people that give up on the season that they're not even here, right? Um, you know, it's gonna be a difficult ride. It's gonna be a long season still. We still got 5 games, but it's gonna feel like 30 weeks, right? Not even close to the same though. Locker room and leadership is nowhere near the same. Better talent, but minimal unity and team chemistry. I think team chemistry is there, bro. I think I disagree with you when you said the team chemistry is there. I think the team chemistry is there. I think what is not there is the lack of experience. That's the problem. For me, it's the lack of experience on why it's a little different than what it was before. The lack of experience on the rookie level on 3 different occasions. When it comes to the quarterback, and then when it comes to the coach, and then when it comes to the coordinator, I think it's a lot to do with that. So I think they are one. I think they do. I think the players are good as a friendship level, like being together. But I think it's just the lack of experience on the coaching aspect, and you know, that would be the main thing for me, just by looking at it. But obviously, the future is something that tell me where the chemistry is, what part of the team on the field. I'll give you maybe the linebackers, but nowhere else. Um, well, for one, the receivers obviously, but it's just that Aiden O'Connell, is not doing sometimes not doing the best when it comes to the quarterback aspect of it. The offensive line, they just blatantly suck. They're united, but they like I said this last season, they weren't the best of unit. And then everybody was like, "Oh, this offensive line is top 10 and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Bro, it's not top
Don't get me started on the offensive line, man. How they get how are they top whatever last year, and then we got the same people this year, and now they're completely horrible. Somebody got to go. And I'm tired of everybody, and I'm gonna say it like a broken record because I really do mean it. Y'all need to get off of Zeus's back for last week, because Andre negative 3,000. Yeah, I said it. Andre negative 3,000 is always getting blown up when there's a lineman right in front of him. We see it every game. And I didn't want to put it out there because, like I said, I know the ops be watching. But I can say it now because everybody's been doing it. All the opposing teams have been doing it. And Andre James gets blown up every single time. So Andre negative 3,000 because he allows the running backs negative yards. Needs to stop. Gotta go. If it was left up to me, the only person on from Andre James going to the right tackle, the only person that I would possibly keep is Thayer, just because he's on cheap labor. But everybody else, we got to do something. We got to do something better than that.
He's a wide receiver. Where's the chemistry on them on the field, Grant? Rookie quarterback, but there isn't chemistry because there still isn't packages for anyone outside of Mayers or DA. I mean, that falls on the quarterback. You just said it. If you look at the film and you look at the all 22 film, you constantly see so many people open all the time. Renfro's open, the Michael Mayer's open, stuff like that since the beginning of the season, and they just don't get the ball. That's not on the chemistry. That's more of well, actually, the quarterback to receiver. If you're talking about the quarterback to receiver chemistry, then I'll give it to you there. That there's no chemistry revolving there. But as far as wide receiver as a unit, I think they have chemistry. That's what I meant. I think that's where you're talking about. If you're talking about quarterback to wide receiver, yeah, there isn't chemistry right there. I will admit that.
But you're asking for a rookie quarterback, and that's where I go back to rookies being rookies. You're asking for a rookie quarterback to do all a fourth round quarterback to do all of these things that a veteran is barely getting together. So I get that we want whoever under center to be the best quarterback in the world, but we also got to put it in perspective. This stuff has to take time. Aiden O'Connell's learning how to be an NFL pro, let alone, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to understand what this NFL thing is about. On top of trying to run an entire offense. Oh, now he has to have a A1 rapport with DA. Now he has to have an A1 rapport with Myers. Now he has to have an A1 rapport with Renfro. That stuff takes time.
Mm-hmm.
How many weeks has he really been under center? 3, 4 weeks? I get it, and I really wish that was the case, but this stuff takes time, especially when you have a rookie quarterback under center.
Facts. And yeah, JT, I thought you meant as a unit. I didn't think as a position to position chemistry wise. But yeah, in that aspect, that there is no chemistry on that end, and you see it constantly. That's why I don't get when people are like, "Wow, like this is bad. What the hell? He's doing the same thing Josh McDaniels did. This, that, and a third." But it's like nobody looks at the reality of it. At the end of the day, like I said, we got 5 games left. Who knows what's gonna happen in those 5 games? We can only speculate what could happen. They could come out of the bye week swinging, or they could come out of the bye week the same way. We don't know until the first game back. To me, I kind of evaluate the team more when it comes to that game. But I think the bye week will do them good if you ask me. DC has done it, bros. Did again and has honestly Twan had should have done better. Wait, had should have done better chemistry with the twos and threes, but he does. That's on everyone, including the wide receiver. I don't know if I read that wrong. Um, but I said unit. You said wide receiver. I was responding to you. I just want more in depth. I said unit. You said wide receiver. I was responding to you. I just want more in depth. As a unit, as an offensive unit, yeah, there's a lot of complications between the quarterback, the receiver, to the tight end. But as far as the unit position wise, by position, like the wide receiver group, the quarterback group, the the offensive line, they have chemistry. They just fucking they're that offensive line is just shit that I've been saying since the start. They have chemistry because last year they went from this is the same offensive line from last year. The only difference is Van Rodden. Van Rodden does not fuck up the whole chemistry. To me, I think they have chemistry, it's just they fucking suck. And I said they sucked last year, and people were like, no, no, they don't suck. What are you talking about? You're just giving an excuse to the old quarterback. You're just giving an excuse. You're just giving it to what? Now is it an excuse? Like, goddamn, like like I'm telling you, this offensive line wasn't all that. So, there's a lot of things to look forward to. Obviously, people are already kind of checking out, and you could tell if some people are checking out because they hardly come around now. And that means they're just checked out of this shit. And it's like, damn, like, just wait till the end. At the end of the day, we got to represent our team. We're known as one of the most loyal fan bases. Let's show it, and a lot of people ain't showing it. A lot of people are just fair weather. Hey, when we do good, they're out there, and when we lose, they're out. And it's like, come on, like, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Um, I think we'll be fine, man. Honestly, it's just tough to look at what the season that's happened this year, and a lot of people have predicted it, and a lot of people were called too negative for it. I mean, me and Twan were too negative when we recap the Broncos game, when we recap this game. Oh, you're too negative. You're too negative. And now where's those people at? They're the same people that switched up and are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm glad Josh McDaniels left. I'm glad this happened." And it's like, weren't you the same person that was not only defending the coach, you were defending the quarterback, and you were also defending the offensive line. Some people were out there putting their life on the line for this offensive line. Now it's like, they were not good. They were not. Okay, don't make me go back on your live, screen record it, and then bring it on live and expose your ass, because then it's gonna be a problem at that point. And it's funny because it's like a lot of people like to tuck their tails and be like, "I never said that. I never did that. I never did that." And one thing people could say is I don't say I was right about everything, because I called DeMarcus Peters was ass. That I was wrong about. I thought he would have came out here and been some veteran experience. I said Amik was gonna be ass. I wanted him out. He came out here and balled out. But then I was right about a lot of things with the quarterback and the coach and all these things. So, at the end of the day, it kind of balances out. So that's why I don't get why people are so quick to switch up on people as well, man. It's insane. It's insane to me. Carr had 16 games in his rookie season. That's a fact. AOC is on his fifth or sixth game. That's the reality of it. People don't look at the reality of it. People just want to exactly, Chile. People just want to be right, and I'm not for that. If me being wrong causes people to not watch me, then it's fine. you know it is what it is. A lot of people like to say that they're always right, so then more people could come in and be like, wow, this guy's always right, this guy never says wrong. But they've said a lot of wrong, they just don't admit it, and people don't realize that. It's always a narrative. It's always a narrative that people want to run with and make sure that that narrative comes out to be true. And if that narrative is wrong, they try to switch it and try to change the narrative so they could be right. And that's what I hate about it, right? Well, shout out to Dirty Danny, says, what's to say if we draft a quarterback in the first round and he doesn't translate to the next level in the NFL? Why are people bashing AO when he is on his 4th-round quarterback and is doing well? He's the second best quarterback in this rookie class. Y'all know that, right? It's crazy, huh? It's crazy. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, what happens with this team, but it's just a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing. Let me see. Let me see. I think yeah. I think that's about it as far as that. Let me see if I skipped anybody in the comment section by accident. You have anything to add on, Twan?
Yeah, you know, I like I said, we I think it's just we got to take the growing pains with who we have, and those are our best options moving forward. Um, and hopefully, during this time we can, you know, they can get what they need to learn, get what they need to get, and move on and get better. It's going to be interesting who they bring in because again, it is the buy. So this is like another perfect time to bring in, whoever we need to add to the roster. And teams are letting people go too at the same
Yeah.
time. So there's a lot of, pieces that, people are releasing from other teams that we can bring over that can definitely help us. So we'll see what Champ decides he wants to do.
Hmm. And like I said, you know, I'm a person that always gives people the benefit of the doubt. In the beginning of the off season and last year, I was being, a lot of people call me negative. They're like, "Hey, you don't know, Josh McDaniel needs a second year," and I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, be like, "Hey, I'm gonna give him a couple games, see how he does." And obviously, it didn't go as planned. It goes exactly how I was right, and I never wanted to be right because me being right was this shit show of what it is. And that's the one thing I always said. Like, I don't want to be right in that aspect. I don't want to be right. I want to be proved wrong, and they didn't prove me wrong. And people time and time again called me negative, negative this, negative that, negative this, negative that. It's like, come on, it's not being negative. It's the reality of it. Like, let's stop living in this happy-go-lucky rainbow world because if we're in this happy-go-lucky rainbow world, nothing's ever gonna change with the Raiders anymore. If we don't demand change, if we don't call it out for what it is, what it is, rookie, 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 and it's not gonna be the best of. There's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be questionable, but that's what a rookie does. McDaniels fucked this team over, and I said it constantly, and I said it again, and I kept showing this exact picture right here over and over and over again because this meant this means so good. Coach screws team while owner watches. That's how it looked like, and that's exactly what happened. And once again, I hope Mark Davis, I know you've been listening to us, and that's why you dropped Josh McDaniels. You may not be looking at my podcast, but hopefully you come across this, something gets sent to you. Please stop giving contracts to people that do not deserve it. Give it to people that have a reputation, that have a good reputation, that want to be here for the Shield, that are not going to lie to you, that are going to give you a win at the end of the day. And if that's Antonio Pierce, bring Antonio Pierce. So far, Antonio Pierce has shown me a lot, more than Josh McDaniels has ever done. So to me, I think Antonio Pierce deserves a call. He deserves an interview, and he deserves it. So, and experience comes with time. That's a fact, bro. I called it when we traded our locker room leaders and left us naked. Actually, JT, I don't think you were here for one of the lives. I actually called it out a couple months back, and I was like, Hankins was a leader. These guys were people that were stepping up, talking back to Josh McDaniels, stepping up and saying, "Hey, this is wrong, and we need to do better." And they got shipped out. Have you guys talked about the Gruden in rumors? Not yet. I'm gonna let 1 week pass by until we start talking about it. Maybe next week we'll talk about it. But I have been seeing the Gruden rumors. I do not want to back 110%. I do not want to back. No offense to him. I think we would have been in the playoffs right now if he was still our coach. But I can't do it. I can't. I can't talk about it this week. I can't.
Yeah, we're gonna say that for
A rainy
for,
day.
for another podcast for real.
We
But
gonna say-
we definitely gonna talk about it though. We definitely don't think we're gonna run away from it. We definitely gonna talk about it.
Facts. Wouldn't mind Jay Gruden as OC. Damn. Shout out to everybody in here, man. I'm gonna blame McDaniels on every loss for the next 2 years, like people blame Gruden, Mayock, and Carr. Hey, that's how it'd be like, right? Um, so obviously, if you guys just came in, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Um, We talked a little bit about the Raiders and Chiefs breakdown. We talked about a little bit of future, and we also talked about the Marcus Peters releasing, how it affects us. So if you want to go back on it, I'm also going to clip some things as well. A clip's going to drop today of me explaining kind of the whole conservative play calling aspect of it. So stay tuned for the YouTube short. Also, there's a community tab open right now. I know who put no on it. I know some people that put no on. Shout out to Raider Gabe in the building. I seen 40% said no to the play by play of college bowl games. I know who you are. You guys didn't need to put out, but it's kind of funny. A lot of people want me to do the Michigan and Ohio State game. Ohio State. What the fuck? Iowa and Michigan game, which of course Harbaugh is on that team. So obviously people want me to do that game. So I'm planning on doing some college bowl games. Go over there and hit that like button on that community post and go hit that if you want it or not and what games you would like me to do. I'm gonna of course do my USC game with whoever we play because we're gonna play a bottom tier team. So hopefully we win that. And obviously, I'm also gonna do the Michigan game and probably the other playoff game with Georgia over there, and hopefully the Oregon game, the Pac-12 championship. I'll probably do as well. So yeah, I heard Iowa's in the Big Ten championship. That's what people are saying. JT, I haven't looked it up completely, but I heard Michigan and Iowa. So it's gonna be interesting that game. So, Tuan, let me know, man. And any final thoughts? You know where they could subscribe to you, any upcoming shows, videos, stuff like that.
Yes. Okay. So those are on because we're simulcasting. So some of you guys are not on mine. If you guys are on SC show, definitely come over and subscribe to Raider Twuan, which is my channel. Hi, I'm Raider Twuan. I am actually a couple away from 300. So if you guys can help me out and definitely join the congregation, which is what the name is of the chat that I have on my group, is called the congregation. Definitely come over and join the congregation by subscribing. Also, stay tuned because I was planning to do a live this Thursday tonight, but I'm supposed to be spending time with Shirley. So I'm gonna have to, table that possibly Saturday. But definitely I'm gonna do a full out live, breaking down what the congregation means and all of that. I'll be doing that live. So definitely stay tuned for that. And no game plan this week because obviously we're on a bye. So definitely click your notification bell because I do go live at random, and a lot of content will be coming your way from the Raider Twuan channel. So definitely quit playing with yourself. Subscribe.
Yeah. Shout out to Raider Gabe. He says, I'm thinking of making a daily sport. You should do it, man. Daily sports show, man. And speaking of new things, the SC Experience name is soon to go away.
What?
Next week, there will be a rebrand of this YouTube channel. Some may call it not a full rebrand, some may call it a rebrand, but the SC Experience name itself is going to be gone. Yup. SC Experience is gone. I will say the name that was chosen is a name that I originally had for this channel in the very beginning of YouTube, but I never dropped it. Now it's time to execute that plan. And it's time for a rebrand of the SC Experience.
Okay.
Your hint is pretty much you have been seeing what type of shows I've been doing recently. And I haven't really been talking about the Lakers or Dodgers or even USC. And just that's your guys' hint for that. You guys could speculate, but there will be a rebrand next week. So I hope everybody could show up to that live. I will make sure I put it on YouTube, the community post, the Instagram post, the Discord. So go over there and go follow all that. Obviously, this is a rebrand that I wanted to do, and I think the bye week is a great time to do it, especially with coming across closer and closer to the 2,000 subscriber mark. Hopefully everybody likes the name, and hopefully everybody enjoys the name, and hopefully it brings stuff in. No, it's not Rainbows Raiders Experience.
Capri Sun Network.
Capri Sun Network. More name changes on channels. Yeah, everybody has rebranded, and I've seen everybody rebrand, but it's time to rebrand because
Should I
um,
rebrand?
I think Raider Twuan's good, man. I think Raider Twuan's good.
I'm just saying, hey, since everybody's doing it, I got to do it too. That's great.
And
Hey, look, do what you got to do, man. I'm happy for you. I'm excited to see this new name. Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting, and I can't wait for you guys to see everything how it comes up. But there's gonna be a new outro on the same day as well. New logo, new banner, new everything from Instagram to all that, as well as the intro is the same at the end of the day. I know it says I know in the beginning it says welcome to the SC experience, but it kind of goes hand to hand to what the rebrand is at the end of the day. So you'll see what happens with it. Hopefully you guys are there, man. So stay tuned. I think I'm gonna most likely do a podcast either Monday or Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the new instead of 2:30, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so more people could come. If not, I'll probably do it at 5 o'clock. Um, I've been seeing that a lot of people have work earlier, so it's kind of hard to get everybody to jump on that early at 2:30. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's gonna be a fun show. I'm excited to show you guys. I'm excited to do it. Obviously, a lot of people have done it or rebranded, but for me, I felt like, no offense to anybody else, but I felt like, I have a purpose on rebranding because what I'm doing right now for the content doesn't really go with the name itself no more. So that's another hint right there. So we'll see what happens Monday or Tuesday. Join the Discord, Instagram. I'm gonna post it there and be like, hey, show up, and then once the live goes, I'll display everything, show the outro, show the logo, show the banner and everything. And then after I'll change the name right after that live and everything and do all that. It's kind of like oh, look at it's this. Um Stay tuned for YouTube shorts as well. If you didn't watch this full live, I'm gonna be clipping stuff and also posting it to the YouTube itself. Go over there and check it out. Also, there's a lot of new things to come. I'm excited. I can't wait to see all these things. He says the Raiders launchable experience, the short stack Raiders experience. Uh, so why the rebrand? That's the moment you explain that. That's a fact, man. That day I'm explaining everything. What you mean? Explain right now? I kind of explained it. My content is kind of not what the name it is, right? When people think of SC experience, right? Obviously, the ones that know me are gonna say SC, right? Oh, it's Eric. But the SC experience name, and even the banner, it shows you USC, Dodgers, Lakers, and it's like this guy's not talking about none of those three teams. He's just talking about the Raiders all the time. So, it's kind of like to accommodate to my content at the end of the day. So please, 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 stay tuned for that. Hey, yeah, I'm excited. No, it's not. Nothing was stackable or short stack. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good name. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it, and it's gonna be new times for shows. New shows on the way, potentially. We'll see. But stay tuned for the play-by-plays as well. SC Down Under is the new name. Sorry, I couldn't wait to tell everyone. Hell no, I would never have the similar name to certain people, even though I don't have no problems with them, but I would never have that name. Uh, but
Wow.
obviously, shout out to Australia. Shout out to Australia. I will say that. Shout out to Australia. So stay tuned. It's gonna be the same channel, the YouTube channel, the same place you're at, but a rebrand of everything. Stay tuned. I'm not going to Rumble. Hell no. I'm not going to Twitch. I'm staying on YouTube. Also, Twitter. Twitter. That's the one thing. Twitter and Facebook. There we go. That's the two I forgot. Twitter, Facebook. I'm gonna start live streaming on both of those platforms as well to get more people to come on in and show them. So stay tuned for that. On that note, y'all, anything else you want to say to me before we go out there? I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent.
It's all good, man. Remember, you guys, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. People are going through tough times throughout the holidays. You know what I'm saying? And definitely just know personally that you are a blessing. So be a blessing to someone else.
Facts. And next week is gonna be jam packed, man. Show for the preview of the next game. The Raiders play next week and all that, and the rebrand and stuff like that. And it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna start being more consistent on certain platforms. As far as he says, kudos on Eric for not breaking character today. Um, Obviously Twitter, Facebook's gonna start popping. Instagram, I'm gonna start being consistent on there. Kind of the YouTube shorts I do on YouTube itself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use that same thing on on Instagram Reels, so we could get the Instagram people as well. And on that note, y'all, I'm on the road to 2,000. So right around the corner, is the end of the season. And I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of it. We're less than 70 away. So if you guys can share it, share it, share it. Besides that, I appreciate everybody's love and support, and I can't wait for next week and enjoy this week's games. And good luck to everybody out there in fantasy football. Hopefully, I can win this weekend. And on that note, y'all, I know Twan's chilling over there in first place. Nine just chilling, bro. Uh, you feel me? And on that note, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting couple weeks, man. Remember, just win, baby. Commitment to excellence. Tough time never lasts, but tough people doing you good job. So tough people never give up on your stuff, man. And also remember, life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them, man. Grateful for all of you guys, man. And on that note, y'all, we appreciate you. This was another 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Raider Twuan, SC Experience, aka your boy Eric, man. And we are out. Peace.